Hello everyone, I'm Professor Ken Wakchure. In this today's lecture, we are going to study the cam jump phenomenon. In the cam jump phenomenon, cam never jumps every time that jumping motion of the follower takes place, and because of this cam jump phenomenon will occur. Before starting, I'll just want to tell you a few things about this cam jump phenomenon in very short. See what happens when there is a cam and follower. When that cam and follower are in motion, there are the total 4 to 5 types of forces acting on the follower. One is the inertia force, second one is the spring force, third one is the preload, and fourth one is the force act by the cam on the follower. When there is an imbalance between all these forces, because of this, that follower lose the contact with the cam and it moves in the upward direction, and this operation continues and it again moves in the downward direction, up down movement, which creates the hammering noise on the cam, and because of this, that total cam jump phenomenon is occurred. In this session, we are going to study how this cam phenomenon will occur, and we'll study how to avoid this cam jump phenomenon. The objective of this session is to aware about you the cam jump phenomenon. The outcome of this session, by considering this cam jump phenomenon while designing the cam, you can consider the how much is the speed we should take, how much is the preload we can consider, or the spring stiffness to avoid this cam jump phenomenon. Now these are the some notations that we are going to consider. S is the stroke length, capital R which is the base circle radius, small r is the roller radius, r plus r which is the prime circle radius, n is the rotation of the cam, omega is the angular velocity, theta o that we already studied, theta is the cam angle, theta o is the outstroke angle, theta do which is the dwell after outstroke, theta r dwell after return stroke. Again, there are some notations. UV means the uniform velocity, SHM is the simple harmonic motion, UAR which is the uniform acceleration retardation, and CM is the cyclic motion. Okay, now cam jump phenomenon will occur in case of cam operating under the action of, okay, occurs in case of cam operating under the action of compression spring load. There are two types of cam. One is the when we use the spring to which to maintain the contact between cam and follower, and in another type there is no any spring. The contact between cam and follower is maintained because of the weight of the follower. This is the transient condition, that means which is the time dependent and which occurs only with the high speed and the flexible or highly flexible cam and follower system. The jump, the cam, and the follower separates excessively unbalanced forces exceeding the spring force during the period of negative acceleration that we are going to study. This undesirable, that means every time we need to avoid the cam jump phenomenon, because of the hammering noise which tries to wear out, or which is responsible for the failure of that cam and the follower. That's why every time we need to avoid this cam jump phenomenon. Okay, and that short life of, that means which reduces the life of cam flank surface, high noise, vibration, and the pure action, that means which is, that means cam phenomenon which reduces the utilization of that cam and follower. That's why we need to avoid the cam jump phenomenon. Okay, now again some notations we need to consider. E is the eccentricity, m is the mass of the follower, s is the stiffness of the spring, omega is the angular velocity, p is the preload, that preload which is in the downward direction, x is the motion of the follower. Again various forces acting, one is the inertia force, second one is the spring force, preload, and the force. Okay, inertia force, now that follower is moving in the upward direction, inertia force in the upward direction, spring force again in the, so that inertia force which is in the downward direction, because the inertia force is just opposite the direction of motion. Next, spring force which is again in the downward direction. That preload which is again the downward direction. Preload means the weight of, because of the weight of the, or some mass which is placed over here, because of this to maintain the contact, and because of this the load acting, or the force acting which is the preload, and force exerted by the cam. Now this, given this cam rotates, which exerts some force which is in the opposite direction, means which is in the upward direction, means in the upward direction. Now this is the total force acting on the cam, sorry, acting by the cam on the follower, which is the F, which is the summation of all these three forces. One is the inertia force, second one is the spring force, and third one is the preload. Okay, now we'll find out this displacement of the follower. Now this is the eccentric cam, this is the center, this is the circle, that cam is having the circular in shape, and which is rotates about this C, having the eccentricity of E. Now if we allow to rotate this cam in the clockwise direction, when it rotates in the clockwise direction, which allows to give the motion to the follower in the upward direction, that means it allows to translate that follower in the upward direction. Okay, now that cam rotates to an angle of theta. Okay, this is the angle, this was the initial position, now it moves to this position. Okay, now just consider this right angle triangle. Initially this distance is of E, this total distance is of E. Now when it rotates through this distance, this is the distance which is the traveled by the follower in the upward direction, which is the x. Now to find out this x distance, that means the total distance minus this CR is equal to x. Now this x is equal to E minus, now just consider this right angle triangle, and this CR is equal to, this distance is again E, because this is the radius. Okay, this is the distance E, and we are just tracing like this, but tracing this arc, and this is again the E. Okay, this is of E, and this CR is equal to E cos theta. That means x is equal to E minus E cos theta. If we differentiate this equation, we will find out this this E gets cancelled. Cos theta, which is the minus sin theta, that's minus minus gets cancelled, and derivative of that theta is the omega. That means E omega sin theta, and that x double dot, which is of, if we differentiate this equation, we'll find out E omega square cos theta. Derivative of sin theta is the cos theta, derivative of theta is the omega, that's why E omega square cos theta. Okay, now if you consider the equilibrium equation, that mx double dot, that means m is the acceleration, which is the x double dot, next the sx plus p, that means here we need to consider the total forces acting on the cam, so acting on the follower. Mx plus sx plus p is equal to f, which is the total force exerted on the follower by the cam. Mx double dot plus sx plus p is equal to f. Again, x double dot is equal to omega square cos theta, that we have studied. X is equal to E minus E cos theta. Okay, by rearranging this term, we'll find that, again by rearranging this term, and by taking that cos theta as a common term, we'll find m omega square minus ac cos omega t plus ac plus p. This is the net force acting on the follower by the cam. Okay, now if you consider this equation by putting the value of theta, and to find out the maximum force acting on the follower, when we get the maximum value, either theta is equal to 0 or the 180, because of cos of 0 1. That means when theta is equal to 0 and theta is equal to 180 degrees, we will find the maximum force exerted by the cam on follower for the particular rotation of the cam. Okay, now we want to find out the cam jump phenomenon. Cam jump phenomenon means when the contact between cam and follower gets break, that means force acting on the cam which becomes 0. Now in this case, we just put this f is equal to 0, and we will consider this equation. Okay, again here we are considering the negative force, that means maximum force, that means in the upward direction and the downward direction. Now here we are considering the maximum force, which is the -1, at which that follower is in the upward direction, because we are considering the downward direction means the positive, and upward direction which is the negative. When theta is equal to 180 degrees, that maximum force which is of -1 of that follower, that means, again if you put that cos theta is equal to, here we already studied, when that theta is equal to 0 and the 180 degrees, we'll find out the maximum force either in the upward direction and in the downward direction, because in this case that reciprocative motion takes place of that follower. One maximum value is at the top and one second maximum value is at the bottom. Okay, now by rearranging these terms we'll find this omega. Now we need to find out this omega at which, by speed at which their cam jump phenomenon is occurred. Now we will find by rearranging these terms, you will find that omega is the square root of s. S is the spring constant, spring stiffness. E is the eccentricity. P is the preload. M is the mass, and E is again eccentricity. That means these are the parameters which are responsible for the critical speed. That means which influence on this omega, and this is the speed at which contact between cam and follower gets break. Every time, to avoid this cam jump phenomenon, your angular velocity should be less than this. This is the extreme speed. If we rotate your cam with this speed 101%, the contact between cam and follower gets break, and you will find that hammering noise. The speed at which that starting of that hammering noise takes place, this is the speed at which that hammering noise gets started, and this is called as the critical speed. Okay, this is the critical speed. Again, if we consider the same equation, this equation, if we consider this equation, let's just consider this equation, and we'll find when that p is greater than me omega square minus twice ac, at which this is the condition, that means to avoid the cam jump phenomenon. This condition need to satisfy. That means that preload, while deciding the preload, we should be greater than this me omega square minus ac. Only after that this is having some significant value, and with this we can avoid the cam jump phenomenon. Okay, again by increasing the preload, if we increase the preload and the spring stiffness, we can avoid the cam jump phenomenon. In this way we learn the basics of the cam jump phenomenon, its introduction, how it occurs. We have done its mathematical modeling, and we have studied the different. We have calculated the critical speed at which cam jump phenomenon occurred. And we have studied. We are just focus on the some parts with which we can avoid the cam jump phenomenon. With this, I will finish my session over here. Again, while designing this cam profile, we need to decide this masses, spring stiffness, how much is the inertial force going to add, how at which speed it is going to rotate, and we need to take care of this cam jump phenomenon. If we take care of this cam jump phenomenon, which increase the life of that cam and follower. For this, we need to learn this session or learn this part, which is the cam jump phenomenon. With this, I will finish my session over here. Thank you for patience listening. Thank you very much.